Anti-aircraft guns have been a crucial part of ground-based air defense since World War II. Despite advances in SAM missile systems, several classic gun systems remain in service worldwide due to reliability and low cost. These weapons continue to protect the skies in many countries and often modernized with new sights or radars. So today, we'll present the 10 of the oldest anti-aircraft guns still in active use today, but excluding surface-to-air missile systems. Number 10. The ZU-23-2. The ZU-23-2 is a Soviet twin 23mm towed anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1960 and became one of the most common AA guns in the world. Used extensively in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, it is still in widespread service today. Around 140,000 units were produced globally. Its 23mm caliber shells are effective against aircraft up to 2,500 to 3,000 meters altitude, lightweight and highly mobile. It can also be mounted on trucks for a makeshift self-propelled AA role. The ZU-23-2 remains a cheap, simple, and reliable air defense weapon against helicopters, drones, and low-flying planes. Number 9. The ZSU-23-4 Shilka. This is a Soviet self-propelled anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1960, designed to provide mobile radar-guided protection to armored and mechanized units. It mounts 4 23mm autocannons and a tracked chassis. Its effective firing range against aircraft is about 2,500 meters. The Shilka's high rate of fire, up to 2,000 rounds per minute combined, makes it deadly to low-flying jets and helicopters. Over 6,500 units were built, and it was exported to dozens of countries across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Even today, modernized Shilkas remain in service with nations like India, Egypt, and Syria, often upgraded with digital fire control and new ammunition. At number 8, the ZSU-57-2. This is a Soviet self-propelled anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1957, mounting 2 57mm autocannons on a tracked chassis. It was designed for mobile protection of armored units and saw use in conflicts like Vietnam and the Middle East. Today, it is still reportedly used in North Korea and some African armies. Over 2,023 were built. The guns are 57mm and have an effective range of around 4,000 meters. While its lack of radar limited its usefulness against fast jets, it remained effective against helicopters and ground targets. Number 7. The AZP S-60. This is a Soviet 57mm towed automatic anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1950. It became the standard medium-caliber AA gun of the Warsaw Pact and is still used in countries such as Vietnam, Syria, and some African states. Tens of thousands were built. Its 57mm shells can engage targets up to about 6,000 meters altitude effectively. Its rate of fire and range made it superior to earlier designs, though it was later supplemented by missile systems. In 2022, S-60s were used by Ukraine in the war with Russia, not in their original anti-aircraft role, but as indirect fire artillery. In 2023, the T-55 armed with AZP's S-60 anti-aircraft gun in place of its turret has been used by the Luhansk People's Republic to shoot at Ukrainian drones. Number 6. The ZPU. The ZPU is a Soviet family of anti-aircraft guns, most commonly the ZPU-4, with 4 14.5mm KPV heavy machine guns that entered service in 1949. It became one of the most widespread light AA weapons of the Cold War, used in Korea, Vietnam, and many conflicts. It is still in use today in dozens of countries, particularly in Africa and the Middle East. Production numbers exceeded 100,000 units in various configurations. It fires 14.5 by 114mm rounds and has a maximum effective range of about 1,400 to 2,000 meters against aircraft. Number 5. The KS-19 100mm. This is a Soviet 100mm heavy anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1948, designed to counter high-altitude bombers. It became a standard heavy AA gun For Soviet and Warsaw Pact forces, it is still reportedly in service in countries like North Korea and some in the Middle East, often in static or reserve roles. Approximately 10,000 units were produced. Its caliber is 100 mm, and it can hit targets at a maximum altitude of roughly 15,000 meters. As of April 1, 2023, it has been reported that Ukraine is using some of the KS-19 guns that were stored in Balaklia for indirect fire against ground targets. Number 4. The M1939 61K 37mm. This is a Soviet 37mm anti-aircraft gun that entered service in 1939 and saw extensive action during World War II. It became the standard Soviet light-to-medium AA gun of the war and was exported widely after 1945. Today, it is still in use in secondary roles in North Korea, Syria, and some African nations. Approximately 20,000 units were produced. The gun has a caliber of 37mm and can engage aircraft effectively up to about 4,000 meters. Its maximum range is 5,000 meters. Its rate of fire is around 160 to 180 rounds per minute. Number 3. The Oerlikon 20mm cannon. The Oerlikon 20mm cannon was designed in Switzerland and entered service in 1937 as a light anti-aircraft weapon for both ground and naval use. It became one of the most widespread light AA weapons of World War II, used by the Allies and Axis alike. It remains in service on some small ships and in static coastals or training roles in navies such as those of Indonesia and Pakistan. Over 124,734 were built worldwide under license. The gun fires a 20mm round at a high rate of up to 450 rounds per minute. Its maximum effective range is about 6,000 meters. At number 2, the QF 3.7-inch AA. The QF 3.7-inch anti-aircraft gun was developed by the United Kingdom and entered service in 1937 as the primary heavy AA gun of the British Army during World War II. It was used extensively during the Battle of Britain to defend cities and key infrastructure from German bombers. Today, a few examples reportedly remain in static defensive positions in Commonwealth countries for ceremonial or secondary use. Around 10,000 units were manufactured during and after World War II. It fires a 94mm shell and had a maximum altitude range of about 13 kilometers, making it highly effective against high-flying bombers. Number 1. The Bofors 40mm L-60. The Bofors 40mm L-60 is a Swedish-designed anti-aircraft autocannon that entered service in 1934 and became one of the most widely used AA guns in history. It was adopted by dozens of nations and used extensively in World War II and beyond, though it is replaced in many modern militaries by newer systems. Some of the countries that have been reported to still use it include Norway, Finland, and others. It is still mounted on some naval ships and used in ground-based point defense by countries like Brazil and Indonesia. Over 60,000 were built during its production run. It has a caliber of 40mm and fires at a rate of up to 120 rounds per minute. The maximum range of the L-60 is about 7,160 meters. Well, that's it guys for today. We'll see you guys again in our next video. Until then, stay tuned. Bye-bye.